If you watch my first video, you know the truth. I didn't start this journey from a position of success. I started it from failure, debt, emotional decisions, and the kind of financial chaos that quietly destroys your confidence over time. That story mattered because it explains something bigger. It shows what happens when money has no rules, when emotion drives every decision, when you chase fast wins instead of building slow stability. So today, I want to shift from the story into the foundation. Because rebuilding your finances isn't about one big moment, it's about the rules you live by, every single day. These are the 3 money rules that finally changed my life. They're simple. They're not flashy, but they work. Let me start with this. Rules matter most when you failed before. When you've been broke, you don't need motivation. You need structure. Because motivation disappears when life gets heavy. Motivation disappears when you're tired, stressed, scared, or discouraged. But rules don't care how you feel. Rules keep you stable when emotions try to drag you backwards. I learned that the hard way. Back then, I had no real rules, just hope, and desperation, and shortcuts. Now I live by rules, and everything started changing when I committed to 3 of them. Rule number 1 is the most basic rule of all, but this is where most people lose the war without even knowing it. Earn more than you spend. That's it. That's the rule. And if that rule isn't true, nothing else matters. You can talk investing. You can talk side hustles. You can talk wealth and freedom and all the rest. But if the math goes the wrong direction every month, you are building on sand. Most people don't have a money problem. They have a margin problem. They earn. Then life expands to match it. Bigger lifestyle, bigger loans, bigger comfort spending. And suddenly, your income is gone before you even realize it. Here's a simple example. If someone earns $2,000 a month and spends $2,050, that person is not almost okay. They are mathematically falling behind. It doesn't matter if it's $50. It doesn't matter if it's $500. Negative margin always compounds. This rule is not about being cheap. It's about being free. When you earn more than you spend, you create space. And space is the beginning of peace. I didn't understand that before. I was living in survival mode, borrowing to cover losses, spending emotionally, trying to fix pressure with risky decisions. Now I live differently. I protect margin first. Because without margin, you don't have a life plan. You have a stress spiral. Rule 1 isn't exciting, but it is the soil that everything else grows in. Rule number 2 is the turning point. This is where rebuilding becomes real. Pay yourself first. And no, I don't mean save whatever is left at the end of the month. Because what is left is usually nothing. Paying yourself first means this. The moment money lands in your account, you move a portion into safety and growth, before life gets a chance to eat it. Even if you start small, even if it's $20 a week, even if it's $50 a month. The amount is not the point in the beginning. The habit is. Because the habit is what turns good intentions into momentum. Here's what this rule did for me. It forced me to treat my future like a bill. Not a dream. Not an optional extra. A bill. Just like rent. Just like groceries. Just like school fees. My future became a non-negotiable expense. And when that happens, something powerful changes. You stop hoping to save. You start saving because it's who you are now. This is where most people fail. They think saving is what they do after life is handled. But saving is what handles life when life hits you hard. Emergency fund, retirement, investing. All of it starts here. Pay yourself first, even if it's a small amount. Rule number 3 is the rule that killed my old mindset. This is the one that replaces chaos with clarity. Slow, intentional wealth wins. I used to chase fast money. I wanted results now. I wanted shortcuts. I wanted escape. And that mindset destroyed me. Because fast money usually comes with fast risk. And fast risk almost always comes with emotional decisions. Slow, intentional wealth means you do the boring things consistently. You build systems, you control risk, you protect capital, you let time work. It means you don't need to be a genius. You need to be consistent. Let me say something that might hit hard. If you are always looking for a way to get rich quickly, you are also always one bad decision away from staying broke. These days, I think differently. I'm not trying to win big this month. I'm trying to win steadily for the next 20 years. Even if trading is part of my path, I treat it like a disciplined craft, not a lottery ticket, because slow wealth doesn't impress people quickly. But it changes your life permanently. Now, let me pull these 3 rules together, because when combined, they create something stronger than motivation. They create a life system. Rule 1 gives you margin. Rule 2 turns margin into progress. Rule 3 protects your progress from emotional destruction. That combination is what changed my life. Because instead of reacting to money, I started leading money. My decisions got slower. My stress got lighter. My confidence got steadier. Not because I suddenly earned more, but because I lived differently. These rules didn't just change my bank account. They changed my identity. I went from someone who hoped things would work out to someone who builds things with intention. And that's the whole point of this journey. Not magic, not hype, not fake success. Just disciplined progress that compounds over time. So how do you start today? Not next month. Not when you feel ready. Today. Here's a simple reset you can apply immediately. Step 1. Look at your margin. Ask yourself brutally, do I earn more than I spend? If not, that is your first mission. Step 2. Choose a small amount to pay yourself first. It doesn't matter if it's $10 a week or $100 a month. Start where you are, but start. Step 3. Commit to slow wealth, which means you stop chasing shortcuts. You stop reacting emotionally. You stop gambling with your future. And you build your freedom one disciplined step at a time. If this feels simple, it's because it is. But simple is not easy. Simple requires consistency. And consistency is what creates freedom. I'm not telling you this as someone who got it right the first time. I'm telling you this as someone who got it wrong so badly that I had to rebuild from scratch. That's why I believe these rules. And that's why I'm building my life on them. In the next story episode, I'll show you where my journey goes from here. And in the next practical episode, we're going to take the next real step together. Because this channel is not about watching someone else win. It's about building your own freedom alongside me. Real journey, real lessons, real freedom. I'm JP, and I'll see you in the next one.